Grace, and I'm going to try to get this story out in this video. Okay. The last video that I was making on this, not the intro, the last video is an intro. The one before that, I was talking about that all these kind of freaky things that happen. You'll have to watch the other videos about a total lunatic for a pharmacist and her flying monkey going off on me, and then all the strange things that have happened since I reported it to their corporate office, and they report to their district manager. These could be totally not connected, and there is one thing that it could be connected to, or there's a mix. Who knows? I don't know. But there was one of them was a car at the end of my driveway, and I opened up the door, and the guy or the girl, I don't know, somebody sped off, and they knew the neighborhood. You wouldn't do that there. It was a curve. And then after that, it was an older man in a restaurant that would not stop staring at me, and it wasn't flattering at all. It was creepy. It was extremely creepy. Watch that video. And now after that, Adam and I left from there, went to a store, walked around a bit and everything. It was dark, rainy. I got in the SUV, drove us home, and that's when another freaky thing happened. So this restaurant is I'd say about 5 miles maybe from where we live. It's not that far, really, in the scheme of things. And so we were driving home. It was raining, like I said, and dark, real dark. And there's a road that I have to pull into, to the left and get in a separate lane to turn. Okay, it's a turning lane, separate lane. Well, all of a sudden, somebody behind us, they did it in a weird way, like they didn't realize until the last second that they had a turn there. So they did, and they were kind of sticking out, onto the road. It's longer than that. You have enough chance to go in, and so you're not sticking out in the road. Okay, that road's a 45-mile-per-hour road, so you don't want to be sticking out. Your car's sticking out. So it's kind of strange, why they suddenly stopped to turn. So anyway, as I went ahead to turn, the light was it was a green. Nobody was coming from the other direction, so I didn't need an arrow. So I turned, and this guy or woman, I don't know. Adam turned around. He said guy at one point, a man. But so I was turning. This guy got so close. I was turning into the far lane, which I don't think you're supposed to do. But I did, because I have to turn, not too far up from there. So I did. The guy behind me did the same, but he got really close, and he stayed close. Okay, and like I said, it wasn't too far, but it wasn't very close. It probably went through, I don't know how many turns. I couldn't even guess. Probably it was less than 10, maybe more than 5, between 5 and 10, in other words. So like I said, I was driving. Adam was, in the passenger seat. He could turn around and see, and he was saying that this is too weird. The guy was driving far too close in the neighborhood, far too close at all altogether. And then in that kind of neighborhood, to drive that close, there's no reason for it, no excuse. Goodness. And it was, I was driving, I was paying attention to the road, because it winds a lot. I mean, a lot. You don't go but, like, say, 2 or 3 revolutions of your tires or something before there's a turn. Not that bad, but yeah. I tried to count the turns, so it was almost 10. I think the last one would have been 10 turns. Okay, this guy was following me close at dark time during the rain, and I wasn't going real slow, nothing like that. So, and like I said, Adam was saying how strange it was. Well, at that 10th one, like I said, I told Adam, I said, watch this, I'm going to lose him. And Adam didn't know what to think, and I didn't know that it would work, but I did it anyway, and I never heard anybody say it, but it just popped into my head. And that was right when we came to that stop sign there. As we were driving up to it, I turned on my left blinker. Well, I was turning right, okay? You can only go those 2 directions. You don't go straight. You can't go straight left there. So I turned on my left blinker, but I went right. Well, that guy went left. Okay, he had been following us all the way through up to that point. He went left. I could see him in my rearview mirror. He stopped, backed up, went back on that road, you know. He had just turned, we'd all just turned from, I turned left, I mean right, and he turned left. He went back into that, and I was thinking, oh man, he's turning around. But he didn't. He took off from there. So yeah, he was following us. And it worked to lose him. Sorta. At least for a few seconds. Yeah. When we got home, and you know, both of us were saying this has just been kind of too freaky. The whole day and the whole week, and well, since the week before that even, with all this stuff with the pharmacy and the doctor and all that, it was just too much. And so like I said, we were there to celebrate. You know, I said in that last video that the restaurant, we were there to celebrate, you know, something that happened to Adam. So it wasn't until, what, the next day, I think, Saturday, that I really had a moment to think about all this stuff again. You know, think about it, not being angry, not being upset, just have, you know, calm down and relax. You know, it was a Saturday, and to really think about it, and kind of like, you know, just come back to my head. And so I told Adam what I was thinking. I said, you know, how strange that is, that all that could have happened. He said that he thought it was, you know, really weird and could be connected to, and you know, to the whole pharmacy thing, you know, because the district manager had called, and all of a sudden somebody's outside in front of my house, and you know, Adam, we live in the same house, so he knows what's going on, you know, how things are situated and what should and shouldn't happen, and you know, all that. So he got a little freaked out. But then a little while later, he said, you know, I was thinking about that. It could have been something else, too. So Adam reminded me of something that he thinks it could be connected to. Or he said it could be a coincidence. All of it could just be a weird coincidence. And, you know, but me, I'm thinking it could also be a blend. Okay, and he told me, you know, I told him how I thought to say it. You know, I did a video about how I have to, basically, you know, another buzzword these days, redacted, everything's redacted. But yeah, you know, you got to lie through omission on some of it just because you don't want to tell the whole world everything. Some things you can't. Like this one. And he said that he agrees with this way of saying it, that basically I'm under investigation. It wasn't anything I did, and I'm not in any danger. So, yeah, but I am under investigation, and it could have been somebody who was investigating me. I think he even said he thought that was a weird place they would be and thing they would do, but it's possible. It actually is. So, okay. Now, after these things happened and while they were happening, you know, the two of us, we're not really people who are really scared of other people. You know, we're just not, okay? I'm not going to try to brag about us or anything like that, but we're just not really that afraid of other people. And no reason to be, I guess, usually, but even though weird things happen. So, for especially him. Now, you know, I had just been through all that crazy, making that whole horrible situation with the, pharmacy over days, and he wasn't involved in it, so you know, I couldn't understand why I would be, you know, kind of like twice bitten, once bitten twice shy kind of thing. It's not really that's not the right one, but in a way, you know, not strike that altogether, that's wrong altogether, but just having went through a situation where that's crazy, it shouldn't be happening, nobody should have to deal with something like this, you know, in a business, in a place of business, and it's just something nobody should have to deal with. It's crazy. For that to get me worked up, you know, to say, oh, it's kind of spooky, it's weird, I can understand it. I can understand from just hopping from one to some suspicious, weird things happening, you know, after that, yeah. Now, him to do it, it's kind of like, no, he really isn't that type anyway, so yeah, we should have been, what we was kind of frightened. You know, now, here it is, that was Friday, and today's Monday, and I'm like, you know, all that stuff happened. You know, I'd had time to calm down, think about it, then calm down, but is that a good thing? You see what I'm saying? Is it really a good thing? You know, because what's that expression, shoot, I'm not going to get it right, but you know, when you're on your guard, and then when they get you when you're not on your guard, right? Something like that. Anyway, I've got more videos I want to make on this, but so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this part up. What do you think? How would you see it? But I also wanted to say that I have always said, because I've always had weird things happen to me. I know I'm not the only person that weird things happens to. Yeah. But some people say that I live a jinx life. Some people actually say that you really do have the strangest things happen. You can sit in your home and something weird happens to your car outside. It did. It was a truck. Yeah. But anyway, weird things happen. And so I have always said, since I can remember, probably back when I was a student many, many years ago, as an undergraduate. My degrees are in psychology and sociology, by the way, if you don't know me. But I can remember saying way back then that I'm my own best case study. Seriously, to see, you know, how does this subject, me, I'm my own subject, you know, respond to this kind of drama or trauma, or, you know, and then how long does it take her to bounce back, and how should she bounce back? Should she not, you know, like I just said, stay on your guard, woman, stay on your guard. But, yeah, you know, I'm my own best case study. Anyway, I'm wrapping this up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.